Hello and welcome back to another video. Today going to be talking through the Solar Club letter number 5 for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, telling us all about the driving experience in this upcoming game, as well as showing two short little clips that explain a couple more details in more depth that we'll get to when we get to that point. So yes, this is all about the driving experience, telling us about how the different cars are going to feel different, telling us each car has its own physics, as well as, of course, showing us some beautiful new screenshots, which I'll put up on screen throughout this video. But yeah, they're telling us how car physics are a critical aspect of the game, and how they want things to feel different, from classics to hypercars to off-road to weird things like the Citroen 2CV, which is, of course, being confirmed. And they're kind of addressing the physics in TDU2, which were interesting at times, saying that wasn't great, and they know that that wasn't great, and that there's some people really didn't like how that game handled. So they're trying to make this that bit more realistic. So I'm hoping it's going to be somewhere around the level of Forza, maybe slightly more realistic than Horizon, for example, is kind of where I expect it to sit. Then we get on to the acoustic immersion, as they call it, or the radio stations. There's going to be 6 of them with different themes, including 10 hours of music on each station, I think, which is absolutely mad. How you're going to listen to that much, I don't know. Well, I'm probably not, because YouTube copyright. But anyway, this is where the first short clip was, showing how this worked. Of course, I've muted the audio again because YouTube, but hopefully this gives you an idea of how the radio stations work on this sort of wheel of selection, which actually reminds me of how it works in GTA 5, to be honest. But anyway, that gives you an idea of what the stations are, what they're called, and the sort of different music you could listen to in your Alfa Romeo 8C convertible, of course, in this stunning looking location. Then we move on to the game cameras after that, telling us mostly about there being 2 chase cameras, one that has kind of more dynamism than the other, because people were worried about this after the trailer, but there is a dynamic and a non-dynamic chase camera, apparently. So they're just clearing that up, because that was something people had some questions about. We also get this lovely screenshot of the interior of the i8 again. I don't think there's actually any new cars shown in this. They're all things we've previously seen, but yeah, great to see the i8, the 8C, and I think there was a Mustang in the first image as well. Then they start talking about FRIM, which is of course back, which they did say before. For those who didn't play TDU2, FRIM is short for Free Ride Instant Money, which is essentially by doing skilled driving, high speed, overtaking, going the wrong way, drifting, all of that sort of thing, you can bank credits. Think of it a bit like skill chains in Forza, for example, although TDU, of course, did this before Forza did. In TDU, though, it gives you money rather than skill points. It just directly gives you money, and you choose when to bank it when you think you're... Well, when you've got the multiplier you want, or the amount you want, you can bank so that you don't risk losing it, essentially. And this is where the second clip is, that hopefully gives you some idea of how this system works, if you haven't seen it previously. Then we finish up this article with news that there's another playtest coming. Playtest 2, which starts on October the 27th. So to sign up for this, it's kind of confusing because there's a link here to the website, but all you can do on the website is sign up for the newsletter. And if you read it a bit more closely, basically, to take part, you have to sign up to the newsletter, and then in a few days' time, they'll be sending a registration form round for you to put down your name and details if you want to take part. I unfortunately missed closed playtest 2, so I'm going to be watching very carefully to try and take part in this one. It will be under a non-disclosure agreement again, though, so there won't be any content from that. But you can sign up to take part if you would like to by signing up to the newsletter, and then a registration form will come around soon, which is very exciting to hear. So yeah, that's all the news from Solar Crown newsletter number 5, telling us all about the driving experience, how the cars feel different, the audio, some bits about the camera, a bit more explanation about radio stations and FRIM, and of course the closed playtest, which is very exciting. But that's all we've got in terms of new information from this newsletter. So that is going to be all for today's video. I do look forward to hearing more in newsletter 6, hopefully in not that long. For now, though, that is going to be all. So thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with the next one very soon.